Come on, black coffee, no sugar, no cream. Yeah, it's straight talk with Valerie. Come on. It's straight talk with Valerie. It's straight talk with Valerie. Come on, black coffee, no sugar, no cream. It's straight talk with Valerie. Come on, black coffee, no sugar, no cream. It's straight talk with Valerie. Come on.
What's up, Detroit? How are you doing? It's Monday night at 7 p.m., so you know what time it is. It is time for Black Coffee, No Sugar, No Cream, Straight Talk with Valerie. And you know, everybody knows how much I love my hometown. I love the city of Inkster. I am a Viking for life, and that's it. That will never, ever change. Inkster is the home of Malcolm X. My classmate was an Olympic medalist, Earl Jones. We had the Marvelettes. But I bet you didn't know that we had a professional wrestler. But I can't just talk to him without giving him the proper introduction. So let's just watch this clip.
It's the MDWA. We're on WHPR every other Thursday at 7 p.m. The Missile Dropkick Wrestling Association has arrived. You don't want to miss it. Live on WHPR, Comcast, 15.2, Roku, and Fire Stick.
It's the national treasure and the real world's champion, Nick Aldis. And I need you to go to WHPR now on Roku, download it, and tune in and watch the MDWA every other week. And do it because the champ told you to.
Okay, that was not the clip that I was expecting. That's air on my side. But what I do want to say is when you watch WWE, WWF, they come out and they come out with a vengeance and by storm. So I can't do the intro justice like the music did that I would want it to cue up. But I'm going to tell you that we have Lou. There we go.
Lou! My name is Lucius White, a.k.a. Lou Crank. I'm the future and the president of sports entertainment. I'm the man who's going to turn this business upside down and inside out. I'm the MDWA live champion and also the CEO of Missile Dropkick Wrestling Association.
Well, there you have it for yourself, folks. But I want to also say happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank
what
you.
a great way to spend your birthday. I'm honored that you wanted to still come in and do the show.
Man,
I appreciate you, and we wish you a happy birthday. And I hope that you continue to be blessed with many more good years of health, good health.
Thank you.
Peace, love, prosperity, wrestling championships, and all of your endeavors.
I'm going to keep it going. 43 years young.
All righty. All righty. So we have something in common. We're both from Inkster, Michigan.
Yes.
So you are born and raised there, or were just raised there?
I was born and raised there in Inkster. I left for like 5 years, came back when my mother went on to glory, and I'm just glad to be back home to be with my neighbors, my hometown, and it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling to be back home.
I'm sure. I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
I haven't lost a mother, but I have lost a father.
Yeah.
And so I do understand the void and the pain that's associated with that. But I'm sure your mother is extremely proud of you and everything that you have accomplished. Did you have an opportunity to wrestle or start this endeavor before your mom's transition?
Big time. She seen me when I jumped into the business. She seen me when I got into the business. She didn't really like going to a lot of our sports events. She thought it was like a legal fight. But I knew, her last days was coming because she was coming to my wrestling events. My last when I, as a promoter, when I was promoting in wrestling, I seen her like, wow, I didn't even know she was gonna be at the last two, and I knew something was going on. And but it was great because I put in 1,000% because she's the one that kind of started me into, believe it or not, she started me into the business.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Because I was just, my next question is a perfect interlude to it, because I was going to ask you, how did you get into wrestling?
Well, this what happened. When I was young, as a kid, I guess 10 years old, I always was into cartoons and stuff like that. I always wanted to be a cartoonist or whatever. So I watched cartoons early. Saturdays was the bomb because all the cartoons was on Saturdays.
What was your favorite one?
Oh, man, I had a lot of them. I had G.I. Joe. I had, I love Bugs Bunny. It was a ton of them. Okay. I couldn't pick this. I love the Ninja Turtles and all that stuff. Pee Wee Herman was, I know it wasn't a cartoon, but that was one of the top shows I liked on Saturday.
Okay.
But when every time wrestling came on at 11 a.m., and they would kick me off the TV, and her and my brother would watch. Right, I'm like, what is this mess? What is going? And then every time I seen them, every Saturday they would watch at 11 a.m. and I was like, and I got kind of hooked on to them. Like, I got hooked on to people like Hulk Hogan, and I got attached to their characters. Like, man, they was bigger than life to me, and I was like, wow. And next thing you know, I was, how you had the VHS tapes and stuff, and if you want to tape over it, you put the tape over it and everything. I was taping every show, and they couldn't get me off the TV. I said, this is what I want to do when I grow up. I want to be a professional wrestler. This is one of the things, and here I am.
So with that, you branched off, so you became a professional wrestler, but then you branched off into sports entertainment. Yeah. Take me on that journey. Okay.
So, I say, wrestling is sports entertainment. It's a performance. We're not really trying to hurt each other or whatever. But what happened was I wanted to learn every angle of the business, not just be a wrestler. Mm-hmm. I wanted to work the camera. And I wanted to write the storylines. I sell commercial space for Channel 20, TV 20. I wanted to do stuff like that. But I wanted to have, so I jumped into being a promoter too. And I got a kick out of helping other guys along in the business and training other people. And so that's basically what happened. I just jumped into it though, like that.
So you said there are storylines, and I often wondered about that. Like,
that's what gets you in. That's what keep you going. Because they you can appreciate some people. The wrestling fans, the hardcore wrestling fans, appreciate the wrestling. Like, I appreciate I love the wrestling, but if you just watching it, you want to get wrapped up in the storyline, because that's what I seen when I was young. I used to see the British Bulldogs with their dog, the Matilda. They used to come to the ring with a dog, and when they was wrestling one day, the Islanders came and stole their dog, and so that builds up more storylines. And people like, where's Matilda at? And everybody tune in next week to see if they gonna get their dog back. So I started, okay, well, let me start doing storylines, heavy storylines, and in my promotion. And, I write the storylines, and sometimes I got floor directors and they help me out too. So that's basically what to keep the people into it.
So there's a production. I heard you use the term floor director. So there is a production. You have a team of people.
Kind of. Somewhat, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there are basic maneuvers that you must learn, I'm sure, for safety reasons and other reasons. Are there things like the scissor kick and
first of all, when you get into the business, you gotta learn how to fall. When you get knocked down, you gotta learn how to fall, because you don't want to get knocked out. You fall, and if you fall in the wrong way, you can knock yourself out. So they tell you to tuck your head when you hit. So you learn how to fall before you learn because that was how I was when I got into wrestling school. I was like, I want to learn this. I want to learn how to put together a match, and I want to do this and that, but they say you got to learn the basics, how to stretch and how to run the ropes, how to hit the ropes. You got to learn how to pretend when you get messed up, and it's little stuff you gotta learn before you learn how to do all that, because that other stuff will come. the other stuff will come.
Yeah, because I see him run and hit one side of the rope and hit the
Yeah.
other and then maneuver, and next thing you know,
Yeah.
you scissor kicking somebody on the ground or whatever. So
Yeah.
that takes a lot of practice and
Yeah.
discipline.
Yeah.
Speaking of discipline, because what I was thinking about is I probably need to check my attitude more often. People, I pretty much am a good cook. And people say, you should go on the Iron Chef. Like, oh, I can't go on the Iron Chef because the first time he cussed at me, I'm cussing his ass out back. You know, so
you better not go on that show then.
That's not going to make good TV, right? So when I think about wrestling, have you ever been hit with a maneuver that took you out of character? Like, oh, hell no, did he just do that?
I mean, you know, you got to stay professional, but I have been, it was a move. Like, I got body slammed. This was my early years in business. So the big guy body slammed me, and he was like 300 pounds. So he got up on the top rope and did like a swan time, like where he jumped and he flipped. And the thing is, not supposed to, but he lands on me, and that was supposed to be it. Well, the thing is, he don't supposed to land on me. He supposed to just hit the arm. And 300 pounds, imagine 300 pounds land on you like that, and almost cracked my ribs out. And luckily, that was the last thing we had to do. And he was like, "You all right?" I said, "Get away from me, get away from me." I was so mad at him. I was popping pain pills all night because I had to wrestle the next night. And yeah, and I had a few times I was upset with a couple of them guys, but you know, it's all good.
Yeah, because
it's a tough business.
It is a tough business, you know. But I look at it like any other sport, like football. There are certain things you're supposed to do, rules, guidelines, regulations, but you see a lot of fighting going on out there. You know, boxing is very prevalent in all sports because, hey, they'll get to knocking and taking blows in a second in any of the sports, right? And that's unsportsmanlike conduct. Right. And so that's kind of what you described, you know, unsportsmanlike conduct. But it was kind of sound like an accident a little bit.
Well,
but,
you know, anytime, you know, you're in a physical atmosphere like that, things happen. You know, but you just stay professional. As long as nobody, I really ain't never had a problem with nobody. Nobody intentionally tried to hurt me and stuff. I probably got hurt like maybe a couple of times in there, about 2 or 3 times, but nobody intentionally. It just happened.
It just happens.
You know,
par for the course.
Yeah.
So, what determines? Is there a scorecard like there is in boxing or whatever? What determines who wins?
See, I'm telling y'all to. Well,
and you don't have to give away your secrets if that's
we're
too
breaking
much.
the third wall. Well,
Okay,
I mean,
I don't want to break the wrestling code.
Let me just put it like this, because the guys will be mad. The only thing is, it depends on what promotion you working. Like if, like say I got my trainees, right? I got a guy named Crazy X, and we got a feud. Me and him got a feud. So I'm gonna allow him, because we want him to be like the big monster in the Missile Dropkick Wrestling. So I'm not gonna let him lose much, right? So I'm not gonna, because he's popular, and see, we want him to build up until me and him go at it.
So it's prioritized.
Yeah, it's prioritized. It just depends on,
based on talent and some other things. That's fair. That's fair to say. Yeah. I know that there is racism in everything.
Yeah.
And I'm certain there's racism in wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
What was the craziest thing that you've ever experienced?
Ooh. It was a guy named New Jack. He used to wrestle for, you probably know him, New Jack. I was on the show with New Jack, and he wrestled for the Extreme Championship Wrestling before WWE bought out. So I was on the show with him, and cool guy. I mean, it's just an act that he put on to scare people. But we was in the locker room, and you had to go up to the locker room upstairs, and then you go out to go to the arena. So when I went upstairs, everybody was in a circle, and New Jack was in this. I guess the white guy said something racist to New Jack, and New Jack was in his face, about to beat him up. I said, "Wow, he's gonna beat this white dude up," and nothing happened. But New Jack is known for like stabbing people in the ring. And
are those play?
No, that's for real right there. If this young guy in front of me know who Jack is, he could tell you a little bit more too.
Wow.
But I've seen friends. I've seen a friend that I know. He's currently wrestling in Mexico now. I seen a friend. He was called a racist word in the ring, and he wait till the guy go in the locker room. He grabbed the guy and choked the guy.
So he actually stabbed somebody in the. So that was the question that I asked. Like, hey, have you ever had a maneuver that took you out of character? So New Jack was like, oh no, we ain't buying that.
Well, he didn't do that to me, but he did that to somebody else.
To someone else.
Yeah. I've seen it. I've seen it.
Wow.
I've seen some crazy stuff get real in there, because some people don't like it. Some people don't like the other person. But you still have a job to do, and that's entertaining the people.
So sometimes when you in each other's face, like, yeah, and hyping up or whatever, some of
you
that's
get caught
real.
up in the moment. Well, I mean, yeah, for the most part, some of it real, some of it, is part of the show, But you get caught up in the moment, and you got to make everything look legit.
I understand. It's a production. It's like some theatrics and all of that stuff that go along with it.
It's
What
like
was your best interest? Because I like the one that I wanted to be played, and I'm going to look for it on break to see if I can find it, because it was, what was your most lit interest? Or do you always enter the ring under the same pretense, or do you switch up how you enter?
No, well, I only switched up one time. The original entrance, I'm a man that's my character is Luke Crank, and he wear furry vest, furry boot covers, and he's hype off all the time with Red Bull. He tried to win his match, so he stayed hype. And so the way I enter the ring, into the curtain, is the music hit, and you always is taught you want to get those people attention right when you come from the curtain, and then you got them there. So I come out and I get a Red Bull. I drink the Red Bull and I bang it off my head, and that's probably what. And then I just jump over the ropes, and that's like my hypest entrance right there, like that. I know another company wanted me to do a boxing gimmick. I said, that's different and stuff. So it was off my. But I ran with it though. I did a boxing gimmick, and I had the two women say Lou when I came out there, but I didn't. But the hypest gimmick is the Lou Crank gimmick. I like the Lou Crank gimmick, So
okay, and that's, you said, cracking
the Red Bull.
Open the Red Bull.
Yeah, I just crack it in my head and just get the crowd hyped. That's how I get the crowd hyped, So
that's pretty cool. Kids are extremely fascinated with it. So how's your fan base?
It's pretty good. It's pretty cool. I mean, I ain't got a John Cena or Hulk Hogan or a New Jack fan base, but I got a pretty decent fan base. I remember when I was just in Canada just before the pandemic, some months ago, and I was helping out at a show at Impact, a big show, Impact Wrestling. I was behind the scenes, and we went to go get lunch. Me and the extras, they call it extras. That's not under contract. We went to go get lunch, and we went out there with the fans, and the little kid was like, I know him. And when I came back around, I said, you Luke Crank? I said, yeah. This all the way in Canada. I said, okay, well they watch it.
That's cool.
TV in Canada. They know me from there. So that was,
Yeah, that is really cool.
I wasn't expecting that. I was just working behind the scenes that night.
Well, at least you knew. I was in Meyer one day, and a girl was like, hey. And I'm like, hi. And she was like, how you doing? Just talking to me. And I was like, I'm all right. But it's kind of weird because she's acting like she know me. And she was like, black coffee, right? And I was like,
wow.
Oh, yeah. Whatever. So it just kind of took me off guard to know that somebody now recognizes me from behind this mic as that person. Right. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm just not used to, I wasn't trying to act funny or whatever. I just wasn't used to it. So at least you kind of knew. That is really,
I mean, it's cool. Just, it's humility, because you don't look at because like when you were a little kid, you look at people bigger than life, they're celebrities or people you seen on TV. But like with me, it's kind of, it's weird, but it's cool, kind of. But I still stay. I try to stay I don't try. I try to be humble. I just be myself because it's, I was that little kid one time before, so I wouldn't try to think I'm all that,
That's really, really cool. I know I watched wrestling also, only a little bit. And that was because I have a brother that's 4 years younger than I.
Right.
And we had our own TVs in our room, but they were black and white.
Yeah,
so when my mother brought the Curtis Mathis flow model,
oh,
with
Okay.
the record player
Yeah.
that pulled out on the side
Right.
and the 8-track,
Uh-oh.
so we lobbying
Go way
for
back.
who get to watch what. So we
Yeah.
would take turns. And so I would watch wrestling a little bit with him, and it was pretty fascinating.
Who was your favorite wrestler?
I don't recall the names. I'm inclined to say Hulk Hogan, but I won't say that he's my favorite. I would say that he is the most popular. So I
Yeah.
kind of identified with it. And that was it. I actually just would watch it with him again to wait for my turn
Right.
to have the TV to myself so we can see something in color.
Oh,
Because back then, when you think about it, we had 2, 4, 7, 9, 11, 13, 50, and 20.
Yep.
And at midnight, you're done.
Yeah, because it had the American flag.
At midnight.
Wasn't that weird?
The American flag would come up, and then it's just fuzz after that. So you would have to enjoy that as much as possible during that time.
What age was you when you got cable?
Grown?
I mean, kind of,
Like-
you was...
Maybe, let's see, I'm 56, maybe like 26,
Yeah.
30.
When your
something like that.
parents and stuff had cable. Yeah.
When I moved out on my own, I still didn't buy it. But
Yeah.
to watch some of the things, when BET and all of that started getting famous, and then because I just personally don't feel like you should have to pay to watch TV.
You shouldn't, but it
And
is
we
what
didn't.
It is.
It is what it is. And so I was like on my own, living on my own, probably between 26 and 30 when I really started watching cable because I'm a music person. So
Yeah. I used to get. I think I fell in love with cable when MTV came, when MTV Raps or MTV came out. I used to watch the music videos and stuff. I got intrigued, and then I watched just not the black musicians, but the white musician, Phil Collins and all of them, and so I think I was watching them when I was still home when I was young. And
So is there a WWE channel? WWF
oh yeah, they got a
channel?
WWE network. I think they still come on USA. USA.
I
what
see
else
our
they come-
engineer nodding. Is that
They
Fox?
come on Fox now. Okay, so I don't watch them much, but I'm aware of what's going on. I think but they do have a channel. They switch up so much. They go to, don't they? They go to each channel, so I can't really keep up with them. But
I see.
I'm more of I like Japanese wrestling and lucha libre, Mexican wrestling more. So I get
Okay.
a kick out of that.
Well, we're going to go to a quick music break. You have been listening to WHPR 88.1, Black Coffee, No Sugar, No Cream, and I'm in the studio with wrestler Crank. So here we go. We'll see you in a few.
I'm just trying to do the best that I can as a strong black man. Yeah. Here I stand as a strong black man, having done all I can to please my fellow man. I don't understand why that knife is in your hand. After doing all I can as a strong black man, I'm gonna take my stand as a black man. I will do the best that I can as a black man. I stand on my own as a black man. I'm gonna sing my song. Oh, this is me. So hear my plea. I'm a young black man down on my knees. I say this world is wrong, and we don't have too long. I'm gonna take this stand as a strong black man. I feel the rain falling down on me. If you could see what's on my mind, oh, you will see. Everyone would be more kind. Everyone would be happy. I'm gonna keep on my goal. I won't let it go. As a black man, gonna take my stand. As a black man, I'ma do the best that I can. Oh, as a black man, I stand on my own. As a black man, I'm gonna sing my Sometimes I gotta move. Gotta press my way through. Gotta press my way through. No, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 yeah. Oh, I'ma do the best that I can as a strong black man. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Yeah.
Super truck, super truck. Lou, 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 Lou. I'm systematically breaking bones and damaging joints. When I'm in the ring, you know I'm on point. Getting the 1, 2, 3 is my main mission. I don't care who's in there, who's my opposition. I'm flexing, screaming, looking like a demon. You beat me, man, you must be dreaming. I'm Lou.
Okay, you've been listening to a song that is so near and dear to my heart, As a Black Man by Millard Thomas Jr., Run of the Mill Productions, my cousin that I love so much. And I'm in the studio with a powerful black man, a black wrestler from Inkster, Michigan, my hometown. And his name is Lou Crank. So you got a chance to see that intro where I was talking about, and he came out and he took the Red Bull, smacked it up against his head, went on under the ropes and did his maneuvers and did his thing. We've heard about who Lou is as a wrestler, but I was also impressed about who Lou is as a person when I started following him on Facebook and listening to some of the things he would say and reading some of the things he would post. So I want my viewers to know, Lou, who is Lou Crank the person?
Well, Lou Crank the person, you know, I'm a man of God, I love God, I'm a Christian, seed-bearing ambassador of the risen Christ. I just want to be a person that's known for, you know, spreading the word and helping people and advancing God's kingdom. That's number one. On my real job, my shoot job, I'm a direct care worker, so I work with people that been in head injury clients. You know, I enjoy doing that. I enjoy doing that, helping others and stuff like that, and I just love people. Period. When I'm on my own time, I love being around people. Yeah, that's about it. You know, that's Lou Crane, helping people and because we mainly here for each other. We're not here for ourselves. That's basically what it is. We here for each other.
We are.
Yeah.
We are. And I also realize that it's about stewardship of everything you have, your car, your body.
Yeah.
It's about being a good steward over anything that you have been given, you know, and taking care of it. So I just wanted my listeners to know that you are a man of God. Yeah. And
Raised
you're
in
not
church.
afraid to step out and say that, you know.
Well, no, if one thing about it is people got to realize, you know, in the word that's God, Jesus said, if you deny me right now in front of men, I would deny you in front of your father, in front of my father. And that's one thing you don't want to be. You don't want him to deny at the end of times or in your road. You don't want him to say, no, you can't come in here. You can't come to heaven, because you didn't accept me. You know, in front of you. You was ashamed of me when you was living here on earth. And so no, I make it clear that, you know, I love Jesus and I'm a follower. Now, am I perfect? Nah, but you know, I'm striving to be better.
And no one is. And as long as we realize who we are and whose we are and where we stand, that's the basic premise of that. How does your spirituality keep you rooted in your profession as a wrestler?
I guess I just patience. I just try to be patient, understanding. I know I try to spread the word as much as I can, even if I'm around the wrestlers. You know, because if it wasn't for God, we wouldn't have the ability to do what we do. He gives us the ability to do a lot of stuff. So, you know, I mean, that's how my faith is. I constantly try to keep God on my mouth. And you know what I'm saying, is I try to pick the opportunities that I can to spread the word. So, do
you pray before you enter the ring, like before your matches?
Yes, especially them big times. Like when I remember the night that I wrestled for WWE. That was my first night, and I didn't even know that I was gonna go on to the show until go have a match until they told me you got 3 minutes. You're going on TV. So I was like, oh, I need to pray, and quick prayer, take the fear out, because this is what I've been wanting to do for a long time, and it was almost like it was supposed to happen. I wasn't nervous enough, but yeah, for the most part, I do pray. I get on my knees and I pray before I go hit those curtains. So especially nobody get hurt, and I just want to be as much entertaining as I can to the audience, because if somebody gonna go down and lay $10 on it, you better be entertained.
Mm-hmm. And you know, I'm pretty sure it keeps you rooted too.
Yeah.
You know, but it's almost like a natural high. Like WWE, everybody knows those call letters or those terms or that acronym. Everybody knows what that is, and that's huge. You've made it. Yeah. You know, so describe the feeling of being that young boy, wanting to wrestle, learning to wrestle, and now you're on television.
It was crazy. It was. You know what it was, and I'm gonna go back to God. You know what it was? It was God said, you know, if you give me full commitment, you know you can have more. I just gave you a snippet of what I can do for you. Because, I mean, you can't write that up. I was a young boy watching wrestling, his favorite wrestlers, and watching WWE, and I'm actually in there wrestling one of the top names, cruiserweights. And then I got a chance to meet Vince McMahon, the owner. You can't write that up.
Yeah.
That's just God right there. I don't even give myself credit. That's God. Because that's every day when I was young, I said, I want to be, if I don't never get a job for WWE, I just want to wrestle for him one time. Please, I prayed this.
That's really cool, because I don't recall what I would say, what my response to the question, what do you want to be when you grow up? I don't even recall what my response was, because I wasn't laser focused as you are. Like, I have a friend, Dr. T, is what I call her, Dr. Trevelyan, but she was like, hey, ever since I was a little kid, I knew I wanted to be a teacher or a principal. I would line my little Barbie dolls up and we would pretend like we were at school. So she just knew. So I have admiration for people like you who just knew. And from day one, you sought after that. You were consistent and you made it.
The thing is I hate the word what if. So I get older, 70 years old, 50, 60 years old. I wonder if I just, well, that's torment right there. Just be like Nike and just do it. See what happens. I mean, you fail, you know. But you know, like I said, you got God on your side, you can do anything. So
I agree. There are many things that changed about our great city, the city of Inkster. But one thing that remains the same is, in the words of Robert Turley, is that Inkster love. Despite what they say about our great city, despite how much media exploitation that's out there about our city, despite the blaxploitation, because we do a lot of things to exploit ourselves. The root of it all is Inkster love. I know that's what it was when I lived there, and it's still there. And that's a wonderful thing. And I look back at some of the younger individuals, Paris, and a lot of people who are out in the community, and I call her my daughter, like that's my bonus daughter. Paris Jones loves Inkster. She's about the community and shows that Inkster love. Part of what I know is consistent in that great city that we came from is the love of the children that reside there, and to still love the neighbor. And there are a few people who are trying to bring the neighbor back to the hood. And that's a phrase I got from a dear friend of mine, Yusuf Shakur. He came out of prison and said, I'm going to put the neighbor back in the hood because I'm the one that helped destroy it. So regardless if that is the case or not, putting the neighbor back into the hood, I think, is the basic premise of a lot of black communities around the United States. And one thing I noticed about you lately with your post is you're trying to start a wrestling program for the kids in city of Inkster. Can you talk about that for me?
Yeah, man. My main thing is to inspire, teach, and motivate. It's a lot of wrestling schools, a lot of wrestling programs, shows in areas like Taylor, Troy, around, but we don't have nothing in the Wayne County area, Inkster. So I said, why not I come back home and try to start something? Like, at first I came to, I was doing shows around the area, and I said, well, I want to come back home and do shows. But I actually, my actual goal is to start a wrestling school to train individuals of all ages, kids to adults, and to learn professional wrestling, because professional wrestling goes in life skills too. It teaches you to be persistent, never give up. When you're down, you got to keep on grinding. You got to keep fighting, getting up off the mat. It gives you a grittiness. It gives you a toughness, and that goes in life. You got to grind. It's a grind, and that's what wrestling teaches too.
And I was wondering about that. Like, to bring the wrestling school, what else would the kids get out of it? I know one thing, that misplaced anger and aggression. They learn how to take that and place it in a structured environment, and not that you
Discipline.
would be aggressive with your opponent, but discipline.
Yeah.
So you would learn discipline.
Learn how
And
to
I
work
think
with people too, of a variety of
Teamwork.
colors. Yeah.
diversity,
Diversity.
inclusion,
Yeah.
how to face obstacles.
Yep.
As you said, there's a lot going on within the industry, within the world, and you learn how to stay rooted. Your temperament.
Yeah.
You don't just fly off. You can stay consistent with your temperament. So I see so many great things that would be beneficial to a child, especially one that's disadvantaged or in a socioeconomic environment where they just don't have the ability or access to a lot of other things. That's cool. So I'm excited that you want to bring a wrestling school to the great city of Inkster.
Yeah.
I am hoping that the mayor and other city officials are aware of it. There are some things going on like the STEM camp and the STEAM camp through Operation Refuge and stuff like that, and those things are great for as far as academic training, academic excellence. I haven't looked at the programming that has been offered at the Malcolm X, but I don't know if it's anything of this kind. Not the Malcolm X. I'm still calling it the Malcolm X. That's in my mind.
That's where I know it too.
Yeah. So, but I think it would be a great addition for you to be able to have some kids there and to do that.
Yeah.
Do girls?
Yeah.
Is there a
Yes.
professional
time.
wrestling?
I got a women's champion. Excellent, from Pittsburgh. Her name is Ray Lynn. I think Pennsylvania or Pittsburgh, but she's great. And she's not a color, but she's good. And we take girls too.
Okay.
Girls is just as good as guys. And I'm just being real with you. When they learn the business, they pick up like this. And and I get a kick. Like, we had some girls, a few months ago, come from Minneapolis. And the girl, she got great potential, but she still need training. But it's a bad girl. But like I said, we offering a training too. Like, soon we offering everybody training too. But yeah, girls getting. It's a lot of girls get into it.
So I'm going to ask you two questions for our listeners and our viewers, those that are watching us live. How can someone get in touch with you in case they wanted to be trained or wanted their child to have maybe one-on-one training or some type of that with you for wrestling? How can someone get in touch with you for that?
Well, we have a website.
Okay.
mdwawrestling.com. And, you go in there and you go to the contact, just follow it. It's self-explanatory. You follow it. And, once you get on there, I know who's contacting me. And then my email, if you want to email me, it's lwhite7769@gmail.com, and just contact me,
Okay, say it one more time, a little slow for them.
lwhite7769@gmail.com. And then you want to go to the website, mdwawrestling.com, and it shows you, our training, what I've trained in the past, who I train. On the site, they got all the wrestlers, and they got myself, and it shows you our bio, who trained us, where we been at, our qualifications and stuff like that. So, yeah, they can get in touch with me right like that too. Yeah.
The next thing is you are looking for a building.
Yeah.
You're looking for a building in the great city of Inkster where you can open that wrestling school, but also potentially large enough to have a ring, although the complex, you have used that, and the stakeholders in the city have been generous enough to allow the usage of the complex, which I think
shows
is a great,
and stuff like
yeah,
that.
for
In the
shows,
past,
etc.
yeah.
So that's good. But to have your school, you've looked at several locations within the city of Inkster. So I am hoping that your concept is embraced and that you have the opportunity to get your program launched.
If the mayor looking, if anybody, any powers to be looking, I need a building. I need a building of my own, really. And so I can teach and train. That's my main thing is running a school. Is running a school like that. I'm letting everybody know that I have the pull to get them on multiple shows. Once you get out of training, you could be on my show, and my show is on TV now. So I'm just saying, once you get trained, you can start working and being on local TV, and maybe one day I can show people how to get to the WWE. They got a WWErecruit.com where you get fortunate, they bring you in, maybe use you as security. I can teach you these things. I can teach you these. These are the things I want to teach people.
The nature of the business.
Yeah.
Along, like I say, the front end and the back end.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm saying. Front end and the back end.
Yeah.
I could teach them all.
That's a wonderful thing. The mayor of great city of Inkster will be here on August the 24th. He does follow this show, so he could potentially be watching right now if, in fact, he's not busy doing something.
See that, Patrick? I text you earlier.
Yeah, even if he catches it on the replay, but he does follow the show, so I'm hoping that in some way, he is inspired by what you have accomplished and what you aspire to do, and hopefully you can get some assistance. The last thing I have to put this on the floor. I would love to MC or just be introduce some of your guests or something if you do an Inkster show. That would be really cool.
You could come in. You could be a guest ring announcer or something like that.
Yeah, that would be
How
really
about
cool.
that?
I would love that, and I'll put the fro on and everything.
There we go. Let's make that happen.
But I would love to do that. But in all seriousness, I'm so happy that you are here. If it's some way that I can support and continue to support, I would. Our children are our future.
Yeah.
And they definitely need something like this. Yeah. And so I am hoping and praying with you that your school comes to fruition, because I think it's very important.
Oh, yeah. But one thing I got to, don't forget, Missile Dropkick Wrestling Association is coming here. WHPR, July 30th, every other Thursday.
And we have that clip, so let's just roll the clip so they can see.
It's the MDWA. We're on WHPR every other Thursday at 7 p.m. The Missile Dropkick Wrestling Association has arrived. You don't want to miss it. Live on WHPR, Comcast, 15.2, Roku, and Fire Stick.
It's the national treasure and the real world's champion Nick Aldis. And I need you to go to WHPR now on Roku, download it, and tune in and watch the MDWA every other week. And do it because the champ told you to.
So there you have it. Lou Crank is bringing wrestling back to TV, folks. So please tune in. Give this brother your support. This is something he aspired to do as a small child. So to sit here before me today and to be talking about this and to have a program on television that he once used to watch on TV, that's a phenomenal thing. I salute you, brother, for even accomplishing that much. That's
Thank
great.
you so much. Thank you.
That's great. And I'm glad to be a part on the brink of that history, to help you even catapult this thing into, what, 2 weeks, I guess you're going on, or next week?
Is it? I guess, is it 2 weeks? I think it's
June 30th?
July 30th.
July 30th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Every other Thursday, you get a chance to see.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to a beginner who's nervous about getting into wrestling?
Oh, man, I wouldn't be nervous. I would tell them find a school, a close school, but don't just go to anybody. Go to somebody that know their stuff, who's done it. Do your research. I mean, Google it. Do your research. You got a lot of schools within Michigan. You got the House of Truth. That's the school that I went to. He put out a lot of guys that went pro I sometimes just in the border in Canada, Windsor, it's Can-Am school. I really advise you to go there too, because once you come out of that school, you can possibly you can make a living doing wrestling, and
so that's like the Harvard or something of wrestling, huh?
That's one.
Sounds like a pretty prestigious place.
That's one of you.
Okay.
That's one of them, because the guy who's the president of Impact Wrestling is there. That's his school. He's there on Monday nights, Wednesday nights, Thursday nights. He's there, so you're getting watched, and you go to seminars, and so that's why I'm saying just look at places that qualified trainers and stuff, and then you can come to me. I know my stuff. I'm gonna try to teach you the right way. You know, I'm affordable, and like I said, I'm gonna tell it like it is too. You know, I'm gonna get you where you need to be at.
That's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
You know, because in sports entertainment or any entertainment industry, you have to be able to handle the truth.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to be able to handle the truth.
Yeah.
And you, as the person, excuse me, as the instructor, you have to be able to tell the truth.
Yeah, I don't know how else to do it. I mean, in life, I mean, maybe that's what get me in trouble sometimes, because I address the elephants in the room all the time. I always address the elephant in the room, but I
wouldn't call that trouble. I do it too. So in my Michael Jackson voice, you are not alone.
Pretty boy.
I do it too. You know, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
You know, tell the truth. People can respect you. They might not like you.
Yeah.
And they might not like everything you say or do, but they can respect you.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I feel proud about. I can say for myself, it might not be well liked or any of that, but I'm respected.
Right.
And people know what to expect. Yeah. You know, I'm going to say what it is.
Yeah.
My truth.
People admire you for that too.
So that's a wonderful thing. Well, look, is there anything else you would like to say? Time goes by so fast.
When you're having fun.
Yes, and we're getting ready to bring the show to the close. Can you put that belt up in front of the camera? Let me see that.
This is the MDWA Live Championship belt, and what the Live Championship is, it get defended on TV or social media. We have shows on social media, and this is I beat 3 men in one night to have this.
So now they coming back to try to take it.
Some Crazy X is. Crazy X, if you watching, you going down. You threw me through a table once, but you're not gonna get me again. He's been attacking me every show. You'll see it on WHPR. He been attacking me at every show. But when we finally get in the ring together, I'm gonna systematically break every bone and damage every joint in your body.
Well, all right. You heard it here first, folks. Crazy X, watch your back.
Watch your back, Crazy X.
Well, you know what? History uncelebrated is history lost. I celebrate you today for making your mark in the history of wrestling and in the history of our great city of Inkster. I'm honored and privileged to have you here and to make people even aware that you're from Inkster and that you're doing this and all of the things that you made. I'm just so happy to have you. So with that being said, you've been listening to Black Coffee, No Sugar, No Cream. It's a show where we don't try to spill the tea or make you feel dazed like you had a shot of cheap liquor. We just want you to see things from a different point of view. Mine. And I've enjoyed the show today with Lou Crank. And we're out of here. Taste it back to him, Lou. Let him have it.
Crank!
All right, we're gone. See you next week.